Good evening. It's exactly 8 p.m. Or 7 p.m. somewhere. Maybe in Canada.
Canada.
It's the Geeky Gamer podcast with a couple of geeks. And we're going to do some role playing tonight because that's what we do, live tabletop role playing. We have a Patreon. We would be forever grateful, or
would be over the moon. Over the moon.
Yeah, over the moon. Just delighted
if you join the Patreon, Ken will moon you.
Not sure if I'm going to do that, but it depends on what. I mean, everybody has a price. I'll say that. So. All lowercase letters, Mr. Interrupt, write the music, Couch Fire Media does art media. Twa Replay Productions. Do
we know where they went?
they
actually know. We don't actually know who.
No, I forget who are they? Who are these people?
I don't know. I saw one of their movies though, and it was really bad.
It wasn't. They got a funny one, they got a dark one, and then they have like a officey one.
No, have you seen the one called Ghosts?
I haven't seen that one.
You haven't seen that one? There's this real asshole guy who named Holker that wrote a review about it. And I mean, it's on Amazon. It's terrible movie. Was there even a director? Hi, Ken. What's going on?
Oh, hey. It's not a ton. Just kind of
hanging out.
Trying to be real. Trying to be hard. Trying to get hard.
Trying to get hard.
I think Holker could help me get hard.
Hey, Holker, can you help him get hard?
Oh, yeah. I think I'll do you all at once.
Lord. That's not a bad movie, although it's not on Amazon. Double Brothers, Double Trouble is what we're talking about. It is definitely not a ripoff of Double Dragon. And, I'm not in it.
Thank God. I don't even understand that. Like, how is it possible that you weren't in that film?
Well, it's like the movie that I wrote, that we're going to film at the end of July. Needle in the Hay film. There's going to be a seed and spark crowdfunding for it soon. Anyway, I wrote it with myself in it and then gave myself no lines.
Oh, I thought you were the lead in there. I thought you had all the lines.
No. I've got like 5 lines.
Are you the hay?
I'm the needle in the hay. Anyway, yeah, man. What the hell are we talking about? So this is technically session 1 because for some reason we redid session 0 because we thought we were going to have players last week, as in new players. We had no new players. In fact, we had less players. Actually, this is session 3.
It is session 3.
As the crow flies, this is the 3rd fucking session. In the event that anyone's in... Lord, sorry, beer. If anyone is interested in playing in one of our games and being a part of this, let us know. Join the Discord. We'll vet you. Give us all of your money. No. Anyway, let us know. We're looking for players. We're looking for people that want to get involved and immersed and become part of this cult. Gaming group. Okay. What happened excuse me. I suppose that I should ask, hey, Holker.
Yeah.
Who is the sponsor for tonight?
Thank you for asking. Tonight's sponsor is Random Screen Resolutions. Sure, your monitor has a maximal resolution that would be really nice That would be really convenient if other programs were using it matched up with it exactly. But no, it never does. It could be a movie you're trying to watch, or a video game you're trying to play, or even an online broadcast you were trying to get to work. It should have some setting that fits with your monitor for a pleasant full screen experience, but it never does. Your monitor may be 1920 by 1080, but the app is 2660 by 1440 or 1366 by 768. You try to change the resolution, but you can't reach the resize icon at the lower part of the app because it is always off screen. Thank you, Random Unmatching Screen Resolutions, for sponsoring tonight's game.
And go to hell. Yeah, man. What is, the worst of it is when you're on the phone and that happens. And because there's no way. And then you try to do the pinch thing and it just closes the app. I hate everyone. We are playing DreadLore. And this is the setting. This is a tabletop role-playing game. The setting is the DreadLore setting. You can find it in the DreadLore core book. High fantasy. It is the world of Craster. There's a whole lot of different races and gods and goddesses and all manner of whatnot. One of our latest constructive criticisms about this setting was that it is not stereotypical and it is not tropey, which might be a barrier to entry for a lot of people. Ergo, the kettle-shaped, barrel-chested dwarves aren't Scottish, and in fact don't actually really exist in Craster. So, fuck me. Anyway, regardless, that's what we're playing. Why don't you guys take turns telling us what has happened? Where are you? How did it start? What has happened, and who is your character? We'll start with Ken.
Well, in the beginning, there were 9 gods. Well, maybe 8. Maybe more, maybe less. But we weren't around for that point. We started on this airship, and we were flying by it's called the drop, and there was a wall.
Drop.
The what drop?
The Great Drop.
Oh, the Great Drop. And the Great Drop is basically this cliff by this wall of doom, and our captain was pretty MIA for the most part for a long period of time, and still is. So eventually we crashed our airship, our mighty airship, and so now our airship is on the ground, and we decided to remove the contents of the airship because part of the grounding of our airship is we were attacked by another airship that was much larger, that kind of forced us into the drop, into this massive storm. We wind up landing in a very desert type area that we decided to go and explore for some reason. We didn't ask the captain which way we should go or if we should go, but we did anyway. We did all this stuff.
Yeah, but we kind of had reasons to suspect it might not have been the best thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, but the captain seemed to not really want to be bothered. They had other things to do. There were 5 of us to start, but a lot of them disappeared. I mean, there were 50 people on the ship, and 5 died. But we had some player characters that are now no longer with us, but they'll be back potentially in the future. They just couldn't make tonight. We explored the area. There were caves in one direction, and in the other direction there were these ponds, random ponds in the desert. And in another direction, there were some hedge mazes. And in another direction, there were these 8 pillars or 9 pillars that were like tombs that were dedicated towards the gods, or had the figure of what gods we think gods look like, even though who knows. I don't really know. But we explored all of that stuff. Did you have some thoughts?
Yep. Poker.
The deities, the 9 deities, are 1, the old man's song, a benevolent god. And then Lumina, a deity whose notes I skipped. And then we have
Fidelity.
Emerald, the man of cups. And the cowl, or death. Following that, we have Avakeen, Roragan, Craster Khan, Roragan. Then we have Craster Khan, the Lady of the Veil, and number 9, a broken column. Definitely an odd thing out. Now, this is part of a world that you too can learn more about if you buy the book DreadLore.
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 The whole place that we find ourselves in is likely a tomb of some sort, but we're not entirely sure. There's another building in the distance. Oh, by the way, my character.
Indeed.
My character is named Lepid Osaria. I am a reptilian creature, if you will. A reptilian humanoid creature.
Oh, we will.
The kind of creature that would have been in Star Trek if they had a budget for more than just a different set of forehead wrinkles. Or a recurring character. Guest character, probably. Yeah, they could probably spring for that if the script is really good.
Guest,
but
like a star. Yeah. Special guest. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he'd get taken out by a phaser, and you'd never see him again. That's okay.
No. The guest stars oftentimes were the best actors. Honestly, they're kind of like up and coming and were really, really good. Usually what would happen is you would fall in love with Dr. Crusher, but it would turn out you're a reptile person.
And then I get beamed into a rock. Anyways.
Right.
I think that you would fall in love with Deanna Troi because she's the one, the promiscuous one. She was probably the worst the psychologist ever created.
But people didn't really fall in love with her. They became infatuated and then tried to force themselves on Deanna Troi. They fell in love with Dr. Crusher.
Yeah, well, Dr. Crusher was pretty amazing.
Anyways. So we find ourselves in this desert environment, in this thing that's likely kind of a tomb, and we are a ways away from the ship. I don't know exactly how far. Do you know?
You guys are about half a mile from.
We walked half a mile.
Yeah.
And I assume it's also very hot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hot as balls. Proper hot.
So my reptilian self is feeling very energized, right? I feel like I feel like I can actually can run for a while, because my internal temperature is approaching normal.
Yeah, we get it. Lipid.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Lipid.
Yeah, that's the name. Yeah. Now, My name also matches my phylogeny and my genealogy. So okay.
Oh, really? How?
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about it. No, really, go on.
Because most living reptiles are lepidosaurs. They belong to the clade Lepidosauria.
They don't like being called them.
Yeah.
But your race in DreadLore is not a lepidosaur.
Correct. It's a reptilian. It's a zoom.
Oh. What kind of zoots?
Photo.
Yeah. Well, not a butto. Buto.
Yes.
No, it's a butthole. I don't know if you actually have a butthole.
Everything has a butthole. If you eat, you have a butthole. I mean, it's got to come out
You can have
somehow.
You can have a cloaca.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
cloaca.
Okay. I don't know.
It's like
I'm not
both. It's both.
in and out.
No, it's just it all mixes. It's why bird shit is wet.
Yeah. Yeah. You get it.
It's nasty. He's nasty.
Yeah.
He is not okay. Point.
Lizards are nasty things. I mean, Buto.
This is a good start. Where's Maddie? He keeps us on track. Okay.
Yeah. Maddie's playing Soul. He's out for the week. But he'll be back. Soul is a pirate.
All right. And he's back with the ship. So what had happened was you guys crash land rather safely because of player intervention. You're able to not utterly destroy your ship, but the blimp needs to be fixed. The engine needs to be fixed. There is material that the engine needs to be fixed. This is a Thurgic engine, which is the technology. Right now, the engine is being held together, half of it at least, is being held together with some sort of transmutation magic. Yeah. Winchester was able to somehow fuse the life essence, the ethos within blood, and his natural magic. Regardless, the engine will not, or the ship won't fly as it is.
I think they call that malphasia, or
yeah, that is malphasia. You know, and you heard a little whisper of somebody saying, "Hey, if you learn more of this, you'd be really powerful."
Yeah, it's tempting.
These mercenaries, they are Marines or former Marines on your ship. They're on your side, of course, and they suggest that you take the cargo, which you don't actually know what Von Penn has been hauling around, or why these pirates, you would assume, are after you. It's all hush hush. So they are taking the cargo, the very special cargo, and going off a mile or two east into a cave system and hiding there and holding up there. Meanwhile, most of the crew is back on the ship trying to get it as repaired as possible. Let me strike that. Not most of the crew, some of the crew, and a few of the Marines. You're in a bit of a pickle, a bit of a tight spot, because your pursuants are in a dreadnought class, aka a bruiser type airship. This is about 3 times the size of your ship. It's very well armored. It can hold a lot of people, like 400 easily, 500 probably at the max. Likely has lots of guns. It's a very powerful ship. And I don't know if you guys saw the name of it or not. So you may not actually know who's even coming at you, but they were shooting at you with big old guns, and you got away from it, basically. This ship is over armored. it's like I forget the name of them in Warhammer 40K. Not that either one of you know, but it's what the orcs do. It's like a warg. Like they overman it, over armor it, overarm it. It's flying around somewhere. Now, it likely got struck by lightning from the storm and is damaged. And you know they are at least one pilot down, as you all murdered the shit out of that guy. But if they find you, if they find your ship, like, there's very little you can do. So, you need to fix this engine, and that means you got to find materials. Serendipity, or perhaps fate, would have it that about a half-mile away-ish are these ruins, as Holker and you can have described. Surrounding the ruins, there's a main building, low-lying. It looks low as you approach it. I think I said it's about 30-ish feet tall at the top of it, but it's squat. Imagine a ziggurat, just with maybe 2 levels. There's this Colosseum in front of it. The pools are all over the place, and it's surrounded by these 20, 30 foot wild, bendy, gnarled, like, barb trees. So think of like dogwood trees that are like 20, 30 feet tall. And instead of leaves, it's like these gnarly thorns. And they're all over the place. So think like the shit that Maleficent does with Sleeping Beauty. There's pathways through them. It's a bit of a maze. Particularly, just to make sure, particularly on the left side, so the west. Okay, we'll say that you guys are facing north. You're technically not, but for ease, we'll say north is where the building is, south is where your ship is. To the west of the building, it looks like there's almost like a maze of some sort. And then to the east, there's very rough terrain. While this part of the drop is mostly flat, to the east of the building, there's an upheaval that goes up. It actually obscures your vision of around the building, like maybe 5-10 feet in places, boulders like thrust up. Imagine like a massive tree's roots as it buckles the sidewalk. That's kind of what it looks like. Something has happened there. Maybe it's tectonic, you're not really sure. If you keep on looking, like through the little places you could see, you see more of the drop of just desert, cactuses, all sorts of stuff, petrified forest type things. And that goes on as far as you can see. It is daytime, but it's coming on evening. Despite it being rather hot, right now there's a lot of cloud cover, and that roiling storm is going above you. So it's just overcast, but still is very, very hot and sticky.
Does the rain make it to the bottom, or is it mostly gone by the time?
Yeah, I was actually going to say it's not sticky because there's like basically there's no rain down here at all. The storm itself is obviously aberrant, and magical, perhaps. It seems to defy whatever, or perhaps it's heat lightning. It's kind of hard to tell. But there's no rain that you guys came through. It was lots of wind. I think a good image of it would be, have you guys seen Mad Max Furiosa? Well, think of have you seen The Mummy?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know the big desert storm where the mummy
Sure.
turns into a big face? That's what it looks like. So it's winds and there's lightning. It's not a rainstorm. Okay. That said, as the night starts to slowly settle in, still day, but you can tell just by the ambient light, the storm actually starts to wane above you, and slowly, as it darkens, you'll start to see stars. Where the drop begins, so that Cliffs of Insanity style cliff that is in the distance now. It's who knows how far, like 30, 40, 50 miles away from you. You see that the storm still sort of like is furling around there, almost like a wall that comes and goes. But above you, it's clearing out. It's starting to cool down. You could guess it's like 5 or 6 in the evening. Right. It's you two. You've got a few NPCs with you. Make note. You got Corporal Liss. She's a Denna. She is a she. She is tough as shit. Cute. 5 foot, 8 or so. And is just tough as nails. Maybe in her 20s. It's kind of hard to tell, but she does not look like a person who would be doing the job that she's doing, but she's apparently capable. You have Stuffy and Gamel. These are gearheads. I'm sorry. Stuffy is the gunner's mate.
Mm-hmm.
Gamel is a gearhead, so he knows about theurgy. He's a tinkerer. You have Kess and Tamo. Kess is a marine, as is Tamo. Kess is a Myroshi. Tamo is a crossed Zunts. So someone who, like a half reptile. Stuffy and Gamel are Drowidan. So they're kind of like about the size of what you think about dwarves, like 4.5 feet, proportional type humans. Okay, I know that's a lot of information, but it should be sort of a recap for you guys. They've fanned out. Liz is, she's down where the Colosseum is, maybe looking at that broken column. She has a riflet on her back, and you see the other NPCs, your other party members, sort of spread out among the Colosseum. Stuffy and Gamel will be, they kind of stick together since they're both Drowidan. They're over near where the bramble trees are, kind of like looking at it. One maybe like gets pricked. And so you're sort of fanned out at this point. What are you guys doing? Where are you sort of in the area?
Well, the last time I checked, I was probably about 50, 100 feet up in the air, floating.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You shot up. I forgot.
I was flying a little bit, and the last thing that I remember seeing was I looked down, and in the center of the brambles there was this, I guess, rune, and I was surprised because I could read that it said purity, but I don't really know how to read runes, so that happened.
Well, no, you have Scroll of Runes, don't you?
Oh yeah. Oh, I can read runes now.
Okay.
All right, cool.
When you get Scroll of Runes, you have rune speak. Now that doesn't mean you're fluent in it, but it means you can make them out, and you've taken some time to learn them.
Sure.
Right? Which is why you were able to get that done.
Yeah, I've been looking at these runes for months and months and months.
It's like
I do.
it's like if you watch If you watch enough Avatar, The Last Airbender or whatever,
Yeah.
you're gonna know how the fire symbol. Be like, oh yeah, means
that's
fire. And
Yeah.
Japanese,
Yeah.
right?
Starting to pick up on that stuff.
Yeah, so you're flying. You're flying by means of your air and flame magicka. You're causing that convection to sort of push you up like a wind tunnel. So you're not like floating up there, like you're shot up in the air with a gust of wind as you're like flowing, and then you start to sort of fall and maybe flow on the convection, but it's a constant process. As you look down and see through the brambles, through the sort of maze, in the center of it is this room that says Purity. Action's on you. We're in the montage right now.
I might just kind of give a look around the area. Do I see anything other than, that was a notable thing that I think that jumped out, but I don't want to head towards it. I just want to take a quick look around to see if there's anything approaching, or if there's monsters heading this way, or maybe a big airship while I'm up here before I ease myself back down.
Yeah, as you're looking around, you obviously have a bird's eye view. We'll say that you're like maybe 100 feet up in the air. You can see beyond the actual main building. The building itself it's pretty wide. How would I say this? It's like Parthenon big. Does that make sense? Like you get quite a few people in there. Out past it is just desert. Now that said, you can see like the long. Well, no, it's overcast, so there's no long shadows. In the ambient light that's up here, the terrain almost looks like it's kind of bright. It's this bright desert that's reflecting this ambient light. You see the cactuses or cacti and truncated forest that's all petrified. It does look like there's debris here and there, maybe a few miles out, even further. Looks like perhaps like a downed something. You can't quite tell, but much has been lost in the drop. As perhaps Winchester has heard, people come in here and then they don't come out. So who knows what you would find in the desert? Also, who knows what you're going to find in the desert? So that's beyond. To the east, where all that rubble is, some sort of seismic activity likely caused whatever was there to be swallowed up, and like a rivet perhaps occurred, and the tectonics caused this upheaval. So something perhaps is down there. You don't know. It's all under a whole ton of rubble, though. Let's see. Since you got the bird's eye view. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Looking around towards the east, southeast, you see where the mountains, I should say the foothills begin. That's where the cave system was found. And almost like world-sized dragon's feet, like claws, is what they look like as they, you see the spine of them roll up and then scrape up suddenly far away into the cliff faces that create the Great Drop. The storm, while overhead, it's dissipated, and you kind of see see through it the stars up above. It's still around, and up here you don't see the bruiser. So Perhaps they went too far. Maybe they went over the foothills and mountains that way. But for now, they're not around.
Well, I'm gonna try and lower myself down. I'm not gonna go for the pure the runic thing in the middle of the brambles.
Yeah. As you start descending, it's kind of like swimming out, in the ocean. Like there is a drift, just from the winds and such, and so it takes you some concentration. It takes you to some time, and also to make sure you don't just plummet to the earth. So good like 5-10 minutes to ease yourself down and target the right place as you start coming down. Lapid, what about you? What are you doing? As you see the wizard up there, his black hair just floating around like a magical scarecrow, 100 some odd feet.
I'll try and signal Winchester to try and get him to come down. I don't know that it'll work, but I'll certainly try.
Yeah. As we're kind of a little bit back in time,
my tongue at him and
he's obviously enraptured in whatever he's doing up there.
Are there any Marines around that I could actually talk to?
Yeah, people have fanned out around you. We'll say that you're in the Colosseum, so between like dead center to where the brambles are, you see the two Draudan. Out ahead, the corporal of the Marines, so second in command. And you see the other two off here, maybe looking at the pool, and maybe one is over nearby, not too close, but kind of investigating that building.
I will walk up to one of the corporals.
So there's only one corporal.
Oh, okay, one of them, yes.
That is Liz.
Liz.
Hi. She looks up at you. She has a little, her lip curls into a smile. You know that she has a very strong friendship with the sergeant, who is a Buto. As she'll say in Zunths, although it has heavily accented, she says, "Hi, what can I do you for?"
What are you preparing for?
Huh?
Do you think we can get this ship? Do you think the ship will be fixed by nightfall? Does anyone know?
I doubt it. I highly doubt it. She kind of like crosses her arms and she looks off towards the ship, and maybe even you look over your shoulder. You can actually see just the blimp. It'll be like kind of around, it's a straight shot, but there's some foothill that's kind of like obscuring a little bit of it. You can see people, maybe even like the glint of hammers and stuff. I don't think so. Whatever happened to the engine? I mean, I don't know much about Therapy, but Gamel was telling me it looked pretty fucked. Half of it was missing.
You have you ever smelled? Do you smell anything like an animal presence around here?
An animal presence?
Yes.
You mean something gamey?
No, something that views us as game.
She kind of like raises her eyebrows. Honestly, I don't smell nothing, but it smells like kudzu or something coming from those brambles. That and dirt.
Look, I
haven't been over those pools yet, but
I think we are going to have issues come nightfall.
It's a good note. As she looks up to where the mage is, when's he going to come down? As he actually is starting, Winchester is starting to descend. She kind of nods. Good. When he comes down, if you don't mind, we'll be making up camp. She sort of surveys the land. Why is it you think we'd have problems at nightfall? I mean, of course, I'm sure there's some sort of horrific wildlife around here, but...
Yes, on the way over here. I saw some tracks.
Kind of tracks.
Animal tracks, yes. And of course, you know how it goes. I got down there and realized that he's definitely alive, and it reminded me of something in my past that
like you've encountered it before.
Yeah, you could say that. And it nocturnal. You have to be on night's watch to encounter this, unfortunately.
She just sort of like, narrows her eyes at you. What are you telling me that you're not telling me?
I never really got a good look at it. That's what I'm telling you.
All right. Well, what's their fucking name? Sorry. Tamo and Kesh should be back pretty soon. As she kind of looks over and sees Kes, the Myroshi, looking at the ruins, finding us a suitable place. Don't really want to go in that place at night.
What, the cave?
Well, it's not a cave. It's a building of some sort.
Oh.
But maybe out in front is a good place. Once he comes down, meet us over there. We'll be making camp. As she walks off and starts shouting orders and people start doing what they're told, Winchester, as you're coming down, you can actually see her walking away, and you can kind of hear the echoes and stuff. As you make a relatively soft landing, maybe dropping 8 feet, stopping as the wind, flies up and dust goes everywhere, this way and that way. And you're standing pretty much in front of Le Pig. Action time.
That was not fun. I don't like heights. This it's not for me. But
it's not for you, but it was just you.
It was me, but I did
Well,
see
can you
some
send
stuff
other
up
people
there.
up there like that?
What?
Can you send other people up there like that?
Yeah, probably. I've never tried that before. It was the first time for everything, I guess. But anyway, there's some all kinds of stuff around us. There's the thing that says purity in the middle of that maze over there, and that building, I think, is dangerous.
Look, some of the Marines are meeting over there. I think we should go over there and get our priorities straight, and wherever we end up going, we at least have some muscle or some other expertise with us, so that whatever is out there, it's not just us, right? Because you can float up, I can't.
You're the muscle, though. I mean, I feel like I have a trait that just says life is better behind a buto. Let's meet up and come up with a plan. I mean, if they want to go to sleep, I guess we could take night shift watches and stuff like that, or whatever. But I think this is a really bad place to sleep, personally.
Yeah, I agree. But come on, follow me.
All right, let's go.
So we go and walk over to Liz and the other party members over there.
Yep. As you guys make your way over to the ruins, night is starting to fall more rapidly now. I can describe the sky, but you guys have seen this happen in real life. It's a sunset. As you see the stars starting to come out, and Ariane is high in the sky. This is the purple moon, and she's high. The chasing has not begun. This is an astrological thing where Ariane, the purple larger moon, goes first across the sky, and then at some point, a smaller bluish moon named Name will follow her. And there's a whole story behind it, which you guys may or may not know. That's up to you. Regardless, there's festivals and all sorts of superstitions and folklore about that kind of thing. Fire is struck, theurgic fire, flint and steel, ting, ting, ting. Maybe they have one of those fire logs, except it's like all in like, fantasy writing. The Marines are adepts, and they're using this theurgy and this alchemy just in their kits. Of course, Winchester, it all has that alchemical, that greasy smell to it. Whether or not you have an opinion on this, it's up to you. But they've made camps, they've got their bedrolls out. Liz will actually look up at you all. So we'll make camp here. We'll set the perimeter, of course. There's some steps that lead up to this thing, by the way. We'll say there's... give me a second. Not quite a flight of steps. Yeah, not quite a flight of steps. Old stone. The stone does not look like it came from around here. Perhaps it's somewhere else. That's a stupid thing to say, or a very obvious thing to say. It doesn't look like it came from around here. But there are weird striations on it. It looks very particular. And you guys are kind of on this, dais is the wrong word, it's like a little platform. It's wide, rectangular, and then before you is a very plain one door. The door is wider at the bottom than it is at the top. The doorway is stone, and the stone is it's two doors. And is it open or shut? It's a question. Let's call high or low on it. We'll say Hulker, roll a d12, and Ken, which one do you want it to be, open or shut?
I think I'd want it to be open. I mean, Ken wants it to be open, but I think my counterpart wants it to be closed. So I'm going to say open.
Okay. Call high or low. Hulker, you roll it.
Low.
It is a 2.
Okay. As that door is just ajar. These doors are good 10, maybe 15 feet tall. So they're very long doors. Very tall. And they're all sitting around. Do you guys have bedrolls?
I don't know if I brought anything with me. I thought we were just kind of day hiking.
I mean, I didn't think the ship was going to crash.
Yeah, I didn't think the ship was gonna crash either. I was kind of bummed out about that part. I don't like it on the ground. It's dirty. The ground is dirty and full of filth.
As Liz just kind of looks at you, you hear Tamo, the crossed, half Zunth, sitting back on her bedroll. She just shakes her head, and she's like smoking a little pipe with devil weed in it. You see this sort of black acridness, black licoricey smell. And she shakes her head at you. Wizards.
Just filthy ground.
So what do you got?
I'm not.
It starts to get cold. Thankfully, you have this fire, which does help.
Yeah.
But you know, anything not facing the fire sucks.
I'm gonna. Can I aid the fire with some air and fire? I guess I could aid the fire, but I'd like to talk to people before that first. So I guess Liz is the third in command. Is that correct?
Second.
Second in command.
Of the Marines.
Yeah, Liz.
Yeah.
You're gonna hate what I'm gonna spit at you. I know everybody wants to bed down and go to.
You see her like, you know, messing with her gun, with the caster shells and stuff.
To bed, but I think that airship. I didn't see it up there, but you know, I think they're gonna be along. They might even, you know, try to find us at night. So building a fire could make it easy for us to see. I do think that this tomb right here is a death trap. So going inside's real stupid too. About a few clicks down that way, I saw some wreckage. It could have been an airship at one point. And maybe we could get some supplies there that we could bring back to our ship to get it flying again.
You want to go out there in the middle of the night?
I don't know. I mean, I think we're kind of in a hurry there. We're definitely outgunned, and then there's
if you wish, actually, she starts to say, "If you wish," she says, "No. You're the only wizard we have. Or you're the only mage we have on board, aren't you?"
At this point, I'm probably the only one because the other one was murdered.
That's what she asked. You're the only mage, right?
As far as I know. Sometimes we like to be secret about yes.
You don't go in the middle of the night in the desert. I wouldn't let any of my men, let alone the sole person that can run the engine, go off by themselves.
Yeah.
And we don't do it at night. Especially with Lepid. Say there's some wild beast around here you know about that hunts at night.
I know it when I smell it. I've encountered it, but since it was at night and in a forested area and mountainous and
that's not quite forested.
I've heard it.
Winchester, you do. She actually says Psy because that would be an honorific for a mage. Psy, you do come up with. You do raise a good point. You don't want to go in this building. But with that bruiser up there, all right, she like claps. People just start getting up. You see Tamo, the Crossed, who's smoking, just mean mugging you, Winchester. Like, I was all comfortable, and she puts out her pipe with her thumb. And she stands up and, all right, everybody, put out the fire, form up. We're gonna clear this room, and hopefully, God's willing, she looks over at you, Winchester. This would be a place we can hole up for the eve.
Oh, you want to go in there? Well, it's probably trapped. I mean, I don't know that it's trapped. I'm not an expert, but yeah, it's probably trapped.
You're just full of great ideas, aren't you?
I didn't say we go in there. I'm not a camper. I don't like camping. I go into bed right now. It just seems real not a good idea because.
Well, what would you have us do?
That's a good question.
Right.
What do you feel?
That's why I'm in charge. She says, right. That's why I'm in charge. All right, we're going in. As you see Tamo and Kess light up little glow stones and throw them in.
Did anything happen?
All right, they're sitting there, and as you guys are standing back, they've stamped out the fire. You're just in darkness. You have a little bit of starlight, but it's rather dark. Just you can see the coals, maybe just some reflection in the contours of things. and this deep blackness of this tomb. As the Grothrit's globes is what these things are. They're these soft, sort of ghostly blue light that they toss in there like grenades. Lepid, can you see in the dark? Did you choose that?
Did I choose that? I'm gonna say probably not.
It's for your race. You can. It's in the book. Would
that be under gifts?
No, it would be under races. Chapter 2.
Yeah, it's part of the Buto thing. You get claws too. But you're using the claws. Do you have to choose it? I thought it just came with it.
Yeah, there's a bunch of options, and you choose, I think, 2 of 3.
Oh.
I think you can have both, but you're a Denna, right? Winchester?
I'm a Denna. Yes, correct.
Yeah. So you would have the choice of Lion of Greatness, Nobility of Focus, or Wanderlust, which is an ability. One of those gives you oh yeah, they're all really good. One gives you an additional point of breath. One allows you to be able to drop 3 pips instead of 5 to drop the load, which is sexy. And then Wanderlust is an ability that only Denna can have.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it has to do with sanity. As in, like, they're just really good at exploring. Yeah, so Wanderlust, you can bid a trait to lower sanity by 1. So you could be like, oh, sanity roll happens, shit goes down. I bid mage, it's 1 less threshold. So you could do that if you wanted. They're all really good. Zunths, you've got clawed, you have reptilian eyes, and you have thick skinned. So you pick 2 of those. Thick skin gives you plot armor. Obviously. Reptilian eyes means you can see heat. It's not dark vision, it's infravision. And then clawed means that your claws literally deal like light weapon damage, like dagger.
Yeah, I would have gone with clawed and reptilian eyes.
Okay, cool. So reptilian eyes, you can see different spectrum. You have infravision, so you see heat signatures, which means as the night goes on, you actually see worse because things cool off. It's moderate. Like, you're not like, I'm blind by the end. It's just as things cool off, it's harder to see.
But I might see the monster if it's a warm-blooded.
Yeah, if it's warm-blooded, you probably see it like predator vision stalking through the goddamn underbrush. There are things that can cloak, of course. You know, if it's a Klingon bird of prey.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's cloak. Anyway, Ken, have you chosen the 2 that you need?
I haven't. What page was that on?
It's on chapter 2.
Chapter 2.
Pretty close, because I think Denna are first.
All right. Yeah, I'm getting to
And
it.
there's 3 of them. There's Line of Greatness is the one where you choose, you can do 3 pips instead of 5 to drop the load.
Mm-hmm.
Super fucking useful. The other one is you get an extra point of breath in your max pool, which is awesome.
Very helpful.
And then the other one is Wanderlust, which obviously is not as powerful, but it's very useful.
I'll go with Wanderlust, and because I've already dropped the load once during this campaign, I did the 5, so I'll do the other thing. What was it called?
Yeah.
I
forget. It has an awesome, great name, though. It's really awesome. Best name.
Whatever the third option, the second option.
Yeah, it's actually the first option. It's called. Sorry, no. Yeah, nobility of focus is the
Yeah,
pips
nobility
thing.
of focus.
You want line of greatness. You want
Yeah,
line of greatness. That's breath. Yeah. Despite differences, all Den originate from strong lineage of Denashia. They can trace their line of greatness back to a few hundred seasons. You add, it means that you can trace your shit back to like actual Denashia, the paragons, which makes sense because you're a sublime.
Yeah, so I get it. I get 4 breath instead of 3.
Yeah, that's awesome. So Wanderlust, it allows you to bid a trait to lower the threshold for sanity for you.
Okay.
So if you add upgrades, it's very difficult for you to lose sanity. Like, if you activate that ability, you just get a +2, technically like a +3 to sanity rolls, which is spectacular. Okay. So we're still in the montage. I'm going to go into the Dread as Tamu and Kess. Remember, these are notable NPCs, so you have one bid for them. Okay? Unless you want to make them narrative at some point. As they move in. We're in the Dread. They are going to be doing what they're doing. That's sort of the world action. Antagonists might do. Go on.
Oh, I was going to bid.
Description.
Go ahead. Describe. Because it's the world action. It's the world action. I do that all the time. I don't know why I do that.
Right. I'm taking control, baby. It's fine. It's fine. You just have to be cunning to do it.
Nope.
No? You're okay. Arrows. No, I'm kidding. So the world action is those NPCs have gone in. So that round has kind of happened. Whatever is going on there. You kind of hear them moving around in there. As you'll hear Tess call out in a quiet voice, "Clear!" As you see, now it is the player turn. Liz does this, and she kind of posts at the door, looks at you two, and kind of motions with her head for you to go inside.
Yeah, I'm ready. Can I, before I enter the threshold of the door, I'm gonna look in. Are they melted? I mean, did they? Can I see them?
Right. So with the action on you, you're in the doorway. They didn't touch the door. It's still ajar. So you can only see this angle. You can't see the rest. Like 70% of this place, you have no idea what it is. But you can see that slice of it. And it looks like a massive open room with pillars. Like, think of a much smaller Mines of Moria when the Balrog comes.
Sure.
That's kind of like much, because it's only 30 foot tall. But it looks like that. With the number, you see a couple columns. And we'll say, you'll see Tess a stone's throw that way against the wall, looking around, and you can see sort of Tamo's shadow, obviously exploring the room.
Okay.
Otherwise,
do I see any...
it smells like dust.
Yeah. Do I see any runes or anything along the door?
What do you bid?
I will bid librarian. My trait, librarian. I
love it.
I've been in a library.
If you can read, as you look around, you just looking for runes written somewhere.
Yeah, written like things, because I know a little bit about runes that might, have curses or thoughts or,
As you look on the sill and the door jamb, kind of like poking your head and being very careful. You don't see any runes whatsoever. And in fact, with that bid, normally a place like this you would expect art or sculpture or some sort of design. This looks, it's not as plain as like a barn. It's like intentionally plain. Like there's no flourish on the columns. The columns themselves are smooth. Like specifically there's nothing. Which is kind of strange. What was this place? Perhaps goes through your mind. What the hell?
Yeah. Well, I think it's a tomb, isn't it? Isn't like?
Are you asking me?
I'm just
right here. I'm like the spirit of the Lord hovering.
Yeah, no, I know.
Invisible, all-seeing.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Watching you.
guess if this is the way we're gonna go in here. I don't like it in here. This is weird. It's but I'll go in.
Right here. I pull out my gun and I walk in.
Oh, okay.
You start to move in. As it starts to move in, you were specifically looking for runes. We'll give you a throwdown, Winchester. You can't quite see a lot in here. Dust has been sort of kicked up. It's low lying, maybe like 6 inches off the ground, like, you know, with the movement of the Marines and now Lipid. It's kind of hard to see, right? And there's that ghostly light that doesn't give that much light in here. But go ahead and throw down, we'll say wits.
Oh, it's wits. That is three successes.
As you're sitting there, maybe you get out of the way of Lipid as he moves past. And as you look outside, you know, maybe your back's to the door, you see Liss is right here. And the 2 Drowidan are out there too. You note the platform that you guys are sitting on, right? There's the coals and then the steps. Maybe it's the moonlight, it's purple light, right? Maybe it's just the perspective. But there's a discoloration on the top step.
I'll grab the buto. Oh, hold up 1 sec.
Now, not at the doorway, at the top step.
Oh, at the top step up there.
Right, coming up to the platform. So that way, behind you is the room and the door. This is the platform that you're on.
Mm-hmm. What color is it?
Periwinkle.
Periwinkle. What color is that?
It's this coloration. You got this sort of sandstone-ish look.
Yeah.
Sort of purple. And that one is a little darker purple.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know what to do with any of that. So, but that's notable.
You just note it. It is notable.
Yeah.
It is not anecdotal.
Does that different color track anywhere else other than this one step?
So the steps are rather wide. You could have a whole procession come up them. We'll say that the platform extends the platform extends about a third the width of the building. So it's centralized. And the step is as long as that. So we'll say, I haven't measured this out. I don't know. It's rather wide. I don't want to get into it's 55 feet.
Yeah.
Because then I have to remember it.
Can I warn people not to step on this step?
People have already walked up it.
Oh, they've already stepped on this. The step is already stepped on.
They didn't. I don't know. I mean, do you step on the last step when you're climbing stairs?
Yeah, most of the time.
Okay.
And I'm not the first one in. Well, I'm going to avoid the step.
Map-wise, okay. You're not understanding.
Yeah.
The building is behind you.
Yeah.
You turned around.
Turned around, and the steps over there, so I already stepped on it.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. There's steps walking up to the platform you guys were going to sleep on. There's the doorway. You've turned around and you're looking at the steps.
Yeah. Okay. Well, shit. I guess
I'm
gonna.
Go on.
Fuck. I'm gonna take my mage face and just fucking deal with it. Don't like any of this. I'm gonna be the last one in.
You
right, you guys go next.
Okay, let me give it to you this way. It looks important, like you should investigate it.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna investigate it. I'm gonna look closer. I think it's weird.
You see a book, cool.
Thanks for playing easy mode with me.
Something really, really interesting over in that room. Cool. I leave.
I'm gonna look at this step a little closer, see what's going on. Thanks.
Okay. You're welcome. Lapid, as you walk inside, the mage kind of put his hand up. What are you doing?
I will sneak around the corner. Actually, the first thing I'll do is I'll go right up to the corner, and I'll flick my tongue.
God damn it. So with your infravision, you can see the people inside, of course. Grothwit's globes do not give off heat. In fact, they give off a little bit of cold. So you can kind of distinguish them as they're very dark with your infravision. Of course, you can see the light, but just to give you some ideas. As you flick your tongue, what do you bid? To get sort of a taste of this place.
I shall bid.
Also, if anybody's watching on Twitch, you can do dread points or channel points to gift the players pips and or narrative points. It really helps them out. A pip allows them to change something in the past, something small. So, did you bring your bedroll? One of them could have spent a pip to have a bedroll. Narrative point allows them to do the same in the moment. Just say who you wanted to give a point to. All right, continue.
I shall bid my background of Ranger.
As you flick your tongue at the door, or in the doorway, there's sizzle is the wrong, tingle is the right adjective. I think that's not an adjective, it's a verb. Your tongue tingles. It tastes feral, wild, like sweat of like, not of like a wild animal. It's not potent, this flavor, but it is latent. As in, something has been in here within the last week, maybe? It's hard to tell. But something has been in here.
I walk around the corner to join the rest of the NPCs.
Yeah, as you walk in, that dust, they're trying to move slowly to not kick up the dust too much. It's about an inch of dust in here. So it's sort of like hovering around 6 inches at this point. You can taste it. It's sort of dulling your senses, actually. You see the Marines putting their little scarves up, to block out the dust, and they're moving around. You see this expansive room. There are, who would have thunk it, a bunch of columns in here. These are much more robust.
I'm
Go on.
going to look up at the ceiling I want to pay very good attention to the ceiling because, and I will
You
say
played
this. Well, no, well, not just that, but you said there's 2 inches of dust here, but if something's been here the last week, that means the only way it could have been here is if it was not on the ground, but on the wall or the ceiling.
As you look up outside, Winchester,
like
you
them.
get to the stair.
Yeah.
What it looks like the stone, it's the same kind of stone, but it's reflecting the light of the stars and the moon differently. So have you seen moonstone before?
No.
It's an actual thing. It flashes. So when it catches light, it like reflects it just like moonlight really, really well. I mean, all light really, really well.
I'm gonna bid. Oh, go ahead.
Perhaps it's a lacquer. It's hard to tell. What do you bid?
I'm gonna bid the flowing conduit, and wonder if
Yep.
we've accidentally stepped into another realm.
Oh my. Yeah, as you bid the flowing conduit, how do you go about tapping into the ley line, the ambient ley line energy?
Well, I'm kind of a flowy, shaky, odd, a little bit frail-looking wizard, and so when I cast magic of any kind, there's a little rumble, there's a little shake that goes along. Doorknobs turn, like dishes rattle.
You're freaky.
I'm freaky. So it's very minimal, my power in this. It's just a magic level 1. I'm just gonna kind of feel where the vibrations,
I feel the buzz.
are stronger.
For lack of a better way of explaining it, you feel, or there is the feeling of being in the Bermuda Triangle. Being maybe not in the eye of the storm, but near it. As you feel the tingling all around, not close to your skin, like whirling, as maybe your eyes are drawn up and you think perhaps maybe that's where that wind comes from. There is a turbulence in this area, the Great Drop itself. So the ley lines certainly have something going on here. And is it just the confluence and eye of the storm? Did something go wrong? It's kind of hard to tell. But as you realize that doesn't have to do with this step. You do gain some knowledge about the Great Drop and the ambient energy here. And as you're a natural mage, you're using air and flame most of the time. You can gather with that feeling, you are still in the natural. You're not in a different realm right now.
Okay. But do
As you
I
look
feel
down
like
at
a barrier? Yeah.
No,
Okay.
not at all. I mean, you're in the drop, so
Sure.
going that way will be difficult, but
Yeah.
that's like 50, 60 miles
Yeah,
in that
that's
way.
that's a different.
Yeah.
That's later. That's a later thing.
The step, the step itself doesn't feel magical per se, but there is something different about it. We'll give you this. It is a theurgic thing, specifically alchemical.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll step in the door.
You do.
And if we're running out, guys, everybody, there's a slightly discolored step out there, and it's theurgical. So I don't know. Maybe not step on it, or if when we're on our way
You're
out
saying it's a
running,
trap.
it's very possible that we might get splintered if we cross over the threshold. So there's that. But I don't know. It could be nothing.
I got a splinter walking in here. What do you mean?
I don't know. Is it bad to kick up the dust, do you think, Lipid?
You see,
'Cause I could
Liz, Liz has her scarf up. She says, "Don't kick up the dust, mage."
But how do you see if they're
Yeah, don't fly up either.
traps under? Can anybody see if they're like footprints in the dust? Maybe there's a special way that we walk through this.
As you're like in the doorway that's like half closed, like calling out kind of commands. No, move the painting left. No, 3 inches right. As the Marines are like, I hate him. You can hear them kind of like muttering to themselves. As
Yeah.
Liz listens to you, and she says, "Okay, he's right. Check, make sure you're not stepping on anything trapped, I suppose." Okay.
Anybody
Looking
trap?
up,
Nope.
the only thing that has a design on it is the ceiling,
Oh shit.
which you can see, Lipid, because of the contours, of course, and a little bit of the light. No one else is looking up, oddly. It looks like the Marines did this number, but they didn't inspect the ceiling. It looks like, how to describe this? It almost looks like scales cover the ceiling. The ceiling is flat looking, right? The design, imagine, or maybe tiles or like shingles, and it's in sort of that semicircle pattern. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It likely reminds you of your skin, of your scales. Are they scales? Are they actually painted? It's difficult to say, without the proper light and all of that. But yeah, it's weird. Hanging about 30 feet up.
Does it look like it's painted, or is it just like carved into the ceiling?
You can't really tell, optical illusion wise and low light. You're gonna have to find a way to know. And it's like when you walk into a painting and you're like, wait a minute, is that actually 3D? It's one of those things.
I will go up to Liz and I'll say, hey,
She's right at the door.
I'll say, hey, can you send one of those light orbs up to maybe illuminate the ceiling? Look up.
She looks up. What the hell is that? Hey,
Good question.
Kes, toss a globe up there. That's Kes. Throws the globe and it sticks to the ceiling. And you see, in fact, there's a 3D element to this. And with the light up there, and it's only illuminating part of it, you can tell they're not scales. Something else, though, it's wood. Wood slats that have like rope in them. And there's something very familiar about it. It's kind of hard to put together.
Look, to be honest, tongue flick. I think something is up there, or was up there, using the ceiling to navigate this area. What that means is,
Liz sort of bats away your tongue.
What that means
Sure,
is you should pull your
you might-
people back because it's almost certainly trapped.
Yeah, we gotta
Why
climb
else
on the
would it be up
ceiling.
there? Look at the dust.
She looks
We
at the
gotta
dust.
climb on the ceiling.
What about the dust? It's a tomb or building that the door is open. There's likely sandstorms.
I can smell something. Sure as hell was here in the last week.
You see a couple of the other, or the other Marines kind of look. You know, Tamo kind of cocks her head, the half synth. I mean, our senses are pretty good, although I don't. She kind of shrugs. I don't smell anything. I don't taste anything. Liz kind of nods. Well, here's the thing, fellas. We have to bed down somewhere tonight. It's either on that patio or in this room. Both are dangerous. We're in the Great Drop. So, if you think this room is trapped, how will it be trapped? Or we're going to take our chances on the outside. So reactions on you guys. What are you doing?
I think the floor is trapped for sure. I mean, if
Why would you think the floor's trapped?
if there are ropes across the top and Leopard says, you know, somebody's been in and out of here and there's no footprints, the floor is trapped. Everybody stop.
As you see Tamo and Kess stop, they've walked around the periphery a little bit.
Yeah.
Haven't gone in too far. We'll say Kess is. Let's see, Winchester, you haven't actually gone in, right?
No, I mean, I'm right in. I'm just in.
You're in the doorway. You haven't actually seen the room.
Yeah.
All right. Leped, you have actually walked around the door and seen the room. You could tell that there were several columns in here. You didn't really pay attention to them. The first column, it looks like there's maybe three columns deep. Kess is at the first column. She hasn't gone very far. Tamo has just gone down the wall, and she's a stone's throw that way. So she hasn't actually gone towards even the first column. As they stop,
Is there
looking
is
around,
there a way to climb up?
Kess looks up at the column. I mean, this is round and smooth. Be rather difficult. Tamo over next to the wall. I don't know how someone would climb this. It's sheer. There's no.
I thought there were
She kind of like
ropes
touches the wall.
from the
They
ceiling.
climbed it with equipment that we may not have.
What ropes? As you look up, the wood that's in that weird pattern has ropes, like linking it. But there's none hanging down that you see.
We might take a grappling hook and like go up there. I don't know. Do you guys?
Let's just kind of grappling hooks.
Yeah, a rope. Throw a rope up. We just got on an airship. Lots of ropes on an airship.
Did anyone bring rope? As they all look at each other. We didn't. Why would we bring rope? Like a length. Do you know how much a length of rope, 50 feet of rope weighs? Kess says, it weighs a lot. Did anyone bring rope?
I didn't. Apparently, I can fly though. Maybe I could fly us all up there. We grab on. I'd kick up
I mean,
the
the
dust,
action's
though.
on you guys. What do you all do?
Look, how about we walk outside and you stir up all the dust?
Okay. Yeah. Everybody, trace your steps back a little bit.
Let's see what happens. I
And
mean,
I'll
Witch
sweep
just kind
the
of looks
floor.
at you. It's, all right, everyone get out so that
Yeah, don't step where you didn't step.
you see Kess and Tamo walk by. They sort of like look at you, moving back. they're muttering to Liz as you hear one of them say, "Can we just make camp out here? We're gonna have to sleep at some point." As she says, "Just entertain the maids for right now. You're not that tired." As they're all standing there waiting.
I'm gonna bid my name, Winchester Vark, to harness the winds, and everybody stand to the sides of the doors. I'm gonna shoot all of the dust out the window to activate air and flame.
There's no window.
There's no window. No, the door. I'm gonna shoot it out the door. So I'm gonna put the pressure in, I guess, as high as I can, and try to create a tornado inside. That'll blow it out. Hold your breath. It could be poison dust. I don't know.
Yep.
Okay, do that.
Move to the side of the building.
Yeah, we all move.
Huh?
I moved to the side of the building.
Yep. All right. So you bid your name. Roll your chaos die. We're gonna give this a not threshold. We're gonna give this a danger level of 2.
Okay.
It can cause, it can hurt you,
Sure.
but not bad. You wanna roll a chaos die?
Yeah, and a chaos die.
Chaos die is the most.
I got a 4 on the chaos die.
Okay. Describe how you do this. How are you pulling wind in? Where is it coming from, etc.?
Well, the floor starts to vibrate. Are there any like doorknobs or anything on the door, or like, are there any like metal? Like, is there any metal kind of wedged in the wall, or certainly the ropes and stuff start like gyrating on the top.
Oh yeah, and the wooden slats.
Wooden slats are probably there's a lot of like a little micro earthquake at the very least. Everybody's feeling a little shaky, and I'm doing this like twitchy thing because I got tics when I do this stuff. That's how I manipulate it. It's a whole thing. And I like shove the air up at the top, so maybe it hits the back wall and then pulls out the bottom to suck the dust.
What's your control?
Magic control 3.
Yeah. As you hear this howling wind rushing, as Lapid and everyone else feels their clothing and such suck out away from the building, as this wind shoots in. So it's almost like a tsunami. It sucks out first and then shoots in, and it's howling so loud you can barely hear. Standing in the middle of it is Winchester, as his hair just shoots forward like someone from like the girl from The Ring, as you hear this cyclone on the inside, and then a little bit of dust come out, because it's cycled up as Winchester manipulates the energies, pulls it, and it looks like the tomb evacuates itself, like dusty diarrhea in a line. As all this dust, if you could see it from above, it looks like it just shits out into the Palisade. Maybe like yay high, trailing out a good 50, 60 feet. As the energies die down, Winchester, your hair is like flowing there. You're covered in dust and tingly and static and stuff, as you feel this natural energy wane.
If we're gonna sleep in there, I just don't want to sleep in the filth. I mean,
You see the Marines and lists like this, covered, caked in white dust, as they're like, as Liz is like shaking her hair and it's just coming out. Lipid, you are. It looks like you've been painted. Like,
I was Gandalf the Grey, now I'm Gandalf the White.
I do not flick my tongue.
you hear Tamo, I'm gonna get cancer. As all right, taking a swig of water, of the agua. Liz says, go check it out. All right, let's take a 5-minute break as you guys go back in with a clean floor.
We needed that. All right, we'll be back.
It's actually really smart.
Was that a magic trick? Did you just?
Yeah. Kind of.
That's pretty good.
I'm terrible at this. There it is. There it is.
Sorry.
I'm trying to do it for the part. I'm trying to get like handsy. Okay, so you guys, you blow out. Oh, there it is. Oh, my uncle used to do that, and like it would freak me out.
Yeah.
Except he would actually take off anyway. The Marines go into the tomb. Do you guys go? Otherwise, the scene is outside, not in.
Yeah, I'll follow him in.
As you move in, coughing and whatnot with all the dust on you, maybe shaking it off. You see a very different scene from before. As same room, smells of dust, of course, since all the dust just got blown out. Not all of it was literally gone. The rafters, some of them were popped off, hanging down, almost like a ghost looking like place. As the ceiling looks like a ghost ship is maybe the first thought that pops into your mind. You guys are just from an airship. Those wooden slats with the ropes kind of reminds you of rigging, perhaps.
The thought crosses Lepid's mind. Maybe this is just a ship turned upside down.
Does he say anything out loud? Or just think about it?
Yes. I say just sort of offhanded. Wow, it looks like they just turned the ship upside down and called it a tomb. Maybe they buried it here. Maybe it was another ship that crashed.
As
Gamble.
the two
What do you
Marines
think?
kind of look. The two Drowaden are kind of like sitting there, like at either your side. They're like 4.5 feet tall to your 6 whatever. So they're like looking up at you. Stuffy, the gunner's mate, was like, I mean, if this was a ship, or if there was a ship around here, maybe they have some guns, perhaps what we need for our ship. As the gearhead kind of like nods and concurs, they're two peas in a pod. Marines are looking. Mage, Winchesters, you come in, seeing all that, looking now at the floor, your handiwork. You notice the floor obviously is not covered in dust. It is stone. And on it, from this perspective, it's kind of hard to see, right? Because it's a large floor. And you're it's like being in a painting and being like really close on an edge. Like you don't really have the perspective. But it looks like there's a design in the floor. Like throughout the room. And as you've actually walked into the room now, you both are looking around. You can count. There are 9 pillars in here holding up the ceiling. One of them is broken.
Well, that makes sense.
Not only is it broken, it's not there. The base is there. It's been busted off. It looks like it's been twisted off like a spiral fracture. But the majority of this 30-foot or 25-foot column, which is easily a yard thick in diameter, of stone, is gone. And there's no shards or anything around, or like large pieces. Then they would not have been ejected with the wind.
Yeah.
As in the wind was not that strong.
No.
You also note all the way to the left. So you guys are, right at the center of the room. If you look west, all the way, there is a door, and it's a normal sized door. It is flush with the wall, but you can see now the grooves of it. Perhaps the dust blew that off. like blew off whatever the sediment was that was disguising it. And now that you've cleaned the room, which I did not expect you to do, as you look straight back, you see a mirror that extends the entire length of the room, floor to ceiling. There's something odd about it, as both of you probably at the same time, and maybe even like a couple of the Marines, the mercenaries, gasp. That's made of metal. It's polished metal. So it's not an actual mirror. It's not glass.
Mm-hmm.
As it's some precious metal, likely. Perhaps it's bronze. But it has that, or perhaps copper. It's got that sort of, well, no, it wouldn't be copper because it'd be patinaed. It'll be like a bronze.
Does it reflect the orbs? Are the orbs back in here? The little.
Oh no, the orbs are gone. They're goodbye. Yeah. They're like you can find them because they glow. They're out in the dust.
What about the orbs that was hanging?
You'll get a pip for reminding me of that. Indeed, it's completely black in here. Never mind. We'll say that the mercenaries relit their Grother's globes. I appreciate that. You can actually have a narrative point for that. Because that's a very narrative thing. That's how you see. It's reflective. The light is reflecting in here. Yes, that's what we'll get to. That's what you see at the doorway.
Yeah. Well, I was planning on raising the light level with my ability, but
do it.
I'm gonna bid my trait Light of the Sun to raise the light level, to activate, I guess, air and flame, and any light sources. I guess it's cold, so I would have to remove heat from
That's a
those
good point.
orbs.
How are you producing light here?
Well, those orbs, I guess, they don't float. They hold them. Is that correct?
No, they toss them. They don't.
They
float.
toss them. Yeah.
They're about yay big.
Yeah.
And they're like, imagine like a large hacky sack. They just when you slap them, they start glowing.
Right. So maybe if I
and then they eventually burn out. They're alchemical.
Oh, they're alchemical. Maybe I don't do anything. Maybe I don't do that. It doesn't seem helpful.
What do you do?
We got a door to the left, and there's this mirror up there. I don't know if we should touch that yet. Maybe study it a little bit. There's the design on the floor, but I can't see what it is. So I got to figure out a way to get to the top, I guess.
You hear
figure out a way to get to the top. Wait a minute.
To read it.
Aren't you the guy that just floats?
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Why not here? What, you can't just do that at will?
Every time we do that, there's a risk of calamity. I don't want to do that. I'd rather wait till later when shit goes wrong. Like, let's figure out a practical way. Fucking, what's your name? Stuffy. Can you figure out a way to hoist me up higher? Or maybe, wait, what about Timo?
Let's go with his neck beard. As Gamel, or Gamel, the gearhead, walks up. He's another Drowidan. I mean, I could just climb up there.
Yeah, but you can't see that for me. You don't know what you're looking at. I guess you could just.
You hear Tamo say, "How are you going to climb? That everything is sheer. There's nothing to hold on to."
What if I just stand on your shoulders, Timo? I'll get high on your shoulders. Let's try that. Is that cool, man?
Yeah. What do you bid to allow Tamo to let you stand on her shoulders?
What's the name of our ship? Can I bid that?
No, it's got to be on your sheet.
Oh, on my sheet. I will bid.
Or in your possession, meaning you have to be on it.
Yeah. I will bid my physicality, which is delicate. I'm away from the dude. This is not a big deal.
What do you say?
I'm not like heavy or anything. I'm like sticks
All
and
right,
bones.
fine. Shut your mouth, Maze. Jesus, do you talk this much in school? And she just picks you up, and your skirts are all over. She's like looking up. Oh God, hurry! She like walks over, and where do you want me? As they're kind of waddling around the columns. What are you doing, Lepid, as this stunt is happening?
Watching.
Thanks, Lepid.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Okay.
I melded to the background. I do nothing. I'm not
I
here.
do know. Yeah. Well, no.
Shoot it. Okay.
I'm actually gonna go. I'm gonna see if there's a way to get up to try and get up to the scaled part. If there's any way you can crawl up there, or if the mirror is just solid all around.
Okay, so what do you do?
I want to see if there's a way to get up from the mirrored part of the lower area to the scaled part of the ceiling.
All right. As you're going to try to do that, you know the mirror wall is on the north. It's the north wall. How are you getting there? And what are you kind of looking for?
I'm going to walk. Well, actually, I might go to the other side of the non-mirrored part to see if there's a way up there. And I'm going to look for an area that maybe I could that looks like it would be a good fit for my claws to
Climb.
sort of dig in and crawl up.
So, my question is: do you go straight across, just walk to the mirror?
Yes.
You go to the okay. So you walk down the middle, over the sigil, directly to the mirror.
Oh yeah.
Wait, I'll stop. Nope. I probably can't. I can't see that.
Yeah, you can't. So.
Sorry.
You're sitting there, kind of in the center, Winchester, waddling around because you guys are not cheerleaders, and Tamo, is having trouble with you, and you're like trying to like use your what's your brawn?
Not good. I got a brawn of 2.
No, it's average, but it's average. This is like pure leg strength and core strength. As you're like, kind of like going all over, you're trying to overcorrect and shit. But you don't weigh that much.
Yeah.
So it's not the worst. You're not gonna fall, but it's not easy. As you can't stop Lepid. He's halfway across the sigil by the time you see him.
I just see him in the corner of my eye. Oh fuck.
Yeah. Nothing happens, Lepid, as you cross this sigil. Although, what is your fate?
Judgment, decisiveness, the ability to reorient in the face of adversity.
There is, as you cross the sigil, and you fully cross it, there is a feeling which you'll have to describe for yourself or to us in the pit of your stomach. It's the kind of thing where it's like walking into a courtroom, a gravity, a place of decisiveness, of judgment. It's like walking by a gallows, a place where finality occurs. as you move past it. If this was a movie, right when you step over the last part of the sigil, they'd be like that subwoofer, like ooh, that goes down. Although that technically isn't heard, but there's definitely a feeling of some sort.
You want me to describe it?
Yeah.
Okay. So walking through, I feel like there's something there that would force someone to reckon with their own misdeeds. In other words, if you didn't have a conscience, you would now have one.
I like that. Gain a trait, something along those lines, as you cross over, and Lepid will know that there is some mysticism that is played, some effect. Maybe it's not immediate, but it's something that can be sort of brewing. Does it give you more or less confidence? It's up to you. As you can see yourself rather clearly reflected in this mirror, as you get close, two things are revealed. Now that you're close to the mirror and your perspective is such, you can see on the far left, so the northwest part of the mirror, and the northeast part of the mirror. So all the way this way on that wall. Obviously, two hidden doors. You can just barely tell because the mirror is so good how the lights refract it.
Yeah, so there's like a very small differential that outlines the doors.
Right.
Okay, as soon as I see that, I will I'll look back at the Marines, and then I'll look a little over, and I'll flick my tongue out towards the door.
Which one?
The one on the left.
Yep, northwest, cool.
Yeah, and one of them's a Zunth, right?
Yeah.
One of the other
Or
Marines?
Half-Synth.
They might actually know what that means.
What does it mean?
Like I'm pointing towards the door.
What do you bid?
I will bid. I'll bid my sort, Buto.
Yeah, as Tamo, she catches the tongue flip and immediately kind of looks and whistles to Kess as they move over. Corporal, as the Marines are doing something. Winchester.
Yeah, I was standing on him. I guess if he suddenly moves.
Yeah, she starts moving as you're trying to get a look, and up here you can see at least this quadrant, because it's the whole or most of the floor.
Sure. Yeah.
Of this large room. You can clearly see this quadrant. So I need to know: are you in the southwest, southeast?
I guess we're closest to the door, and probably because I'm a pissy little. The front door, the door we walk to. So we're
okay.
We're not like super far
Are you
into it.
looking? So you're looking at the southwest or the north or the southeast?
We'll go with if the door that I saw to the left. We're gonna look on that side.
Okay, so the southwest.
Southwest.
As Tamo starts moving to the northwest, you can see clearly the sigil is that of Laramuth.
Yeah, Laramuth. Yeah.
Yeah, Laramuth.
Obvious. Clearly, it's Laramuth. But who
Obviously.
the fuck is Laramuth?
This is when the arbiter is just a dick. I'm gonna make sure that I'm right about these things. Yeah, it is Laramie. So, to help you, go to page 428 or 429.
Oh, cool.
Meanwhile, I will get water. You can see to the southeast. I believe it is Bamola.
429. There's like hundreds and hundreds of pages of content that I don't have memorized. And it's probably good because that means that anyway, yeah, there we go. 428 and 429, is that correct?
That is correct.
427, 428, the twins, the pack lords, the primal spirits, constellations.
You're looking for Liquid and Gamola.
There's Thrall and Solstia, and there is the Crastercons and the Pack Lords, and the... Why am I not seeing it? Oh, Bamola and Laramuth. Bamola is the lord of all fowl. Appears as one of many giant birds of prey. She said to bring frost and cold weather to reveal in the thunder and lightning of the most violent storms. Unsurprisingly, Bamola is friend to both Rorgoth and Solista, as depicted in many of their emblems and stories. Mystics who follow the Lord of all fowl say that she favors the will of nature and the one of rightful place, which for her followers is above all others. Bamola respects those who endeavor to climb the highest peaks, both figuratively and literally. And then Laramuth, the bear, is known for soul of bravery, son of Elias and the blessed bear, as expected of a Calgarian bear spirit. His purview is that of courage and strength. From his mother Elias, Laramuth gained a penchant for luck. Mystics say that he's allowed only one soul ever to ride him into battle. The Valkyrie herself, Avakin, from the single favor, Laramuth gained the goddess knowledge of healing. And Laramuth teaches loyalty and heroic spirit.
Okay.
So it's
I don't mean necessarily that. Hold on. I don't mean necessarily that you read the entire page of the book
We'll read
out
the
loud.
whole thing.
I do mean that you see those two runes, and it's pretty obvious that there are two other sigils, and they are likely pack lords.
Yeah.
As Tammuz walking towards the northwest door, and you see near the northwest door is the Volca, which do not read it out loud. You can read it to yourself.
Sorry. I was mumbling. I was trying to hold on. I was like, oh, this is what happens. You know, I was being diligent, which is my nature.
Speaking of diligent, a really diligent viewer would get the PDF and the book, so they could then read all of this stuff themselves.
So
they would gain great insight into this world.
What are you doing, Leopard?
I tell them, I think that's a door, right?
As they're looking at it, Tamu is actually back because Winchester's essentially told her to stop moving. As she's holding back, Kess is up there with you. Liz, the corporal, is up there with you as well. As they're looking at it, Liz says, I suppose, but I mean, I see there's a little indent. Maybe there's a door behind this metal. As she takes her riflet, ding, ding, and it is metal. I think that's bronze, like thick bronze. If there's a door back there, I don't know how we're going to get to it.
What kind of creature would even have this here as a door? I mean, obviously something would have gotten to it or in and out, or
see Liz kind of look at you. Okay, listen. This is all until we see this creature. We shouldn't assume that it's here. As in, the danger, yes. But a bear didn't build the cave it lives in. Whatever creature you are tasting, she kind of looks over at Tamu. Is that racist? Tamu's like, kind of. Look, doesn't mean they built this place. I mean, for all we know, it's some wild creature that has no thumbs.
Yeah.
You see, looking at her, the Miroshi, like, and Lepid, you can see that the Miroshi is like not convinced. Did you say there's another door?
Yeah, over there.
Liz will say, well, let's check that one out. We can deal with this wall. Before we go digging through a wall, like, we should figure out where we can go in this place, I suppose. As you guys start making your way to the northeast door. Yes, Winchester, your turn.
Oh, Timu, I'm not walking through the middle there. I mean, it's like religious and shit. Let's follow
Do you
them.
want down? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah,
She
let's
puts you down. Just kind of like get your dirt off your feet off your shoulder.
Skirt around if we can and not walk over the tiny bits. I'm not prepared for that.
Me. And she steps over the Volca, which is the wolf you know. Of course, you haven't told anyone else this. Unless you literally shouted on.
I think the gods, the Rack Lords, if you know anything about them, they're protecting this place from something.
What are you blathering on about as they're walking to the northeast?
Yeah, we'll follow them. Or,
okay.
If anybody's around me, I'll follow them.
So you make sure to not cross these sigils. We'll say that you and Tamu don't, but everyone else does.
Mm-hmm.
As you make it to the northeast, this is a little bit different than the previous door. Lepid, as you get up to it, you see that it's much more obvious. You can actually see the separation of church and state. You have the groove of the door itself and how it could actually move. We'll even say you can see the what are they called? The hinge. It's very small. You'd have to be close to it to see it, but it's there. Now, how to open the door? It's kind of difficult to know, but it does seem like it pushes in or moves inward. As the Marines kind of sit there and look, Tamu will be looking over her shoulder towards the entrance. Hey, Corporal, you want me to shut the front door? I mean, we're going to go exploring in here. She turns to you, Winchester. I wasn't talking to you. She turns back to the corporal. Corporal? Bliss is much more even tone. Winchester is pretty obvious that Tamu, she doesn't like the fact that she's got two mage footprints, like one on her face, one like her hair. Bliss looks at you, Winchester. You don't think we should shut the door? What if someone comes in behind us?
Yeah, well,
You're the
what
one
if we
who's-
can't open it again? Shut the door, magic door. You don't know the words.
What makes you think it's magic?
I don't know. Everything here is magic. There's the gods, pack lords.
It's just a floor.
It's a tomb. It's a magic tomb with magic shit. It's all thurgy.
Why do you think there's any magic here?
I don't know. Just we're in
Walk
like
across the sigil.
we're in the
What?
the dark.
Walk across the sigil.
Liz throws her hands up. Fine, I'll walk across the sigil. And she starts to walk back across the sigil. What were you saying, Winchester, as this is happening?
Well, it's we're in the most magic place ever, kind of. It's all squirrely ley lines and whatnot.
What are you prattling on about? The corporal's still walking.
I'm not an expert.
She's about halfway across.
I'm not gonna do it. Like I don't want to do it. You did it already. You only have to do it once. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm just being overly cautious. That's all.
As she stops about halfway across the floor and turns around, you can hear her because the room has great acoustics. And she says, Sai, I know that you are careful, and we will benefit, I'm sure, from that. But we also must make decisions.
Great. Well, I'm afraid
We can't
of what I
stay
might
up
see.
all night. If we stay up all night, you won't be able to cast any spells. We won't be able to fight. We have to find a place to bed down tonight. We're going
Okay.
to secure this area and hopefully be able to sleep inside. Now, if you think that door is magical and will lock somehow, I need some sort of proof.
I'm not an expert. I like what the leopard is doing. So that's I'm gonna let him take the lead and just
You see her just arc an eyebrow. We'll keep the door open just in case. Tamu, as Tamu turns, starts hustling that way. Watch the door. You see Liz start back. She's only gone about halfway across, and she comes back to where you guys are. She gets to you. All right, let's open this door and find out what's beyond it.
Yeah, let's do it.
As Tamu's kind of jogging at first and then walking towards the front door. What are you guys doing?
Opening the door.
can I look
Ow.
at the door? What's the door look like?
A mirror.
Can I see the door?
Just as I described it.
Oh, so I can see the door now that Leopard has pointed
Yeah.
it out.
Now that you're where you are, you can see the grooves of it and the
I will
hinges.
take my small hand axe and try and pry it open a bit. See how heavy it is.
Sure. You're trying to pry it out towards you?
Yeah, just to see if it's even possible.
As you start getting your hand axe in there, against the metal, you're kind of scuffing the metal a little bit, pushing. You see the door does kind of give a little bit. It's probably heavy, but it does glide. So it's not like scooting across the floor, but it won't budge. It won't pull out.
Hey guys, I'm gonna need some help. to open this door.
What if it's like fuck, shit, fuck? You know, what if it's like a magic word that we say? Like, pack lords are great. Or we support the Lady of the Veil, or...
So you
They
think
all
we
kind of
should,
look at you. What?
Sorry. I read too much
maybe we should get some
fiction.
sleep. Maybe we should get some sleep.
Misty
before we
Winchester, he's
start
like,
this.
what?
Maybe we should get some sleep before we do this.
I'm feeling okay.
Liz levels a gaze at you with just these lazy eyes of, are you fucking kidding me?
I'm gonna bid my sort sibling, High Elf, to activate the flowing conduit and see if I can garner any kind of energy from this door.
You don't sense any particular energy from this door. However, you do see that the hinges, as stated before, push.
Let's push on the door.
Okay, yeah.
As you push. It does take some strength. It's a push, not a pull. I did say it. Who opens the door? We will say about the flowing conduit, this entire place is on a circuit.
Mm-hmm.
In the walls, deep, going into the earth, like spanning out. You can't like echolocate or anything. But there's some mysticism going on here.
Yeah.
And where you're going, it's strong.
I'm gonna grab Liz by the arm and say, Liz, I'm a fucking mage. There's fucking magic everywhere. Fucking don't look
She
at
rolls
shit.
her eyes. I know there's, and you hear it then, that as Tamu has crossed back over the sigils. They light up. You say the one that she crosses is Bamola. There is the sound of a peal of thunder, or sorry, peal of lightning, and a bright flash. Lepid, your infrasense just goes red for a moment and then slowly fades as there is the smell of burnt flesh and black dust. As your ears are ringing, Liz turns. What the fuck was that? Action's on you guys. As the door is open, the two Drowids are like in there. They're like, oh, check this out. What the fuck was that?
What was that? I'll look at Timo. Is Timo still walking around okay?
No. You don't see Tamu. You see the big room with the columns and just what I described.
Is there a pile of ashes under where Timo was?
Probably gonna have to go look.
I'm not gonna
It is
go
not
look.
an open. There's columns in the way.
Yeah.
I tell one of the Marines.
There's only one left.
There's only one left. I think Timo's dead. I think Timo died.
There's Kess and Liz.
Say, maybe throw one of them orbs over there to see what's left.
Liz stands up. Tamu! She runs that direction.
Don't cross the sigil.
And she stops at the first sigil where Mimir. This one, the northeast one is Mimir. She stops. What do you mean, don't cross? She turns and looks.
They're guardians. God damn
She
it!
looks-
What did?
You can't quite see what she's seeing. I bet she's outside. She's shouting, Tamu!
Yeah, she's not outside. She's dust. We gotta go.
Go where? She turns.
In the door. We just pushed the door open. What's in the door? I want to know.
You look in the door?
Yeah.
In the door, obviously it's complete darkness. The smell of dust, mold, like that mold spores in the air, a little bit of humidity, which is very apparent since you've been in the dry ass desert this entire time. As you open this door, it's like dank, dark tunnel of black. As Kess, sweating, Myroshi pulls out some flint. I'm out of the globes.
That's fine. Just do a spark and all. Do you have some? Do you have some?
As she lights a little ember. We have a torch.
I guess I'll bid my focus, which is burning.
To do what?
To activate air and flame. I'll put my hand like this. And use that spark to start a fire, like just above my hand, maybe, and just kind of hold it.
Cool. Yeah.
Like,
all right.
This is fucking hard, so don't
As
make me
you
think
do
too
it,
much.
chaos die. Roll by chaos die.
Fuck me. That is a 1, but I have a gem.
As you do this, it's like when you're a kid. I don't know. I'm sure you guys did this. If you're a kid in Kentucky, you definitely get some hairspray and a lighter,
Oh yeah.
and you as a fireball explodes.
I never
From
did
your
that,
hand.
but
Oh, it's awesome! Made a flamethrower.
Absolutely did that.
It's tall enough to almost burn the ceiling. But since you have the chaos gem, part of it cracks. So you have 3 uses rather than 4. Part of it cracks and angrily like melts, and you're able to just collect that flame, and you have control of it. You got a control 3 as it's hovering there. You'll know you have to concentrate to do this. So every little while you have to drop another trait for concentration, or you can light something on fire. But for right now, you're holding a fireball about yay big. It's sort of not amorphous, it's a fireball. Whoa!
Yeah. Is there anything
Do
I
you
can
see-
set? Yeah.
it's pretty blinding to me.
Yeah. There is a grade that goes steadily down. There are steps, shallow steps that lead down. And you can see maybe 80 feet. This hallway extends. It's barreled ceiling. There's moss and mold all over it. Scrapes all over the walls and the floor. And at the bottom, a chained, reinforced door. Wooden. Looks like the wood is rotten, and the metal bands are sitting there, rusted and such. To answer your question, Winchester, you were asking. Oh yeah.
I was just asking if I could throw this ball of flame at something like a fireball.
You could try.
If I could just, if there's a door down there, I'd be like, fuck it. And then, like, shoot this fireball at that door.
All right. What do you bid to do it?
I've been my nature narcissistic because I'm kind of annoyed at Liz for like killing Timo, and I don't
Only
want
in
her to
game.
kill me.
I don't care. Only in game.
So I'm holding it here, and I'll bring it back slow, and then I'll pull it, and like jerk my hand down, and it'll like follow my hand, and then it'll just kind of fly.
Okay. So you have so much heat because it was on a mishap. We'll say that it's, you know, it's a pretty good little fireball, but I mean it's not like an explosion. It's like a threshold 3 because you mishapped, which can deal some damage. So do your chaos die?
Got it. Gotcha. That's a 2.
Yep. Now make your mind throwdown. So you want a bunch of successes, and this is all adding damage.
All right. I got
Just how it does.
I got a 2, and then so that's 4 successes total, and 10. I rolled a 10.
You got 2 successes already?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. So how many successes total?
4.
4? Okay. You doing anything to add to that? Because literally anything you add is extra damage.
Well, no. I'm just gonna let that be.
Okay. As you fling this fireball, it hits the door. You see part of the door like bust off from the force and start to catch fire a little bit. It's wet or moist, so it kind of sizzles and smokes and whatnot, and eventually turns into some embers, which you can see it does illuminate a little bit, but it is dark again. The door is quite damaged. As Kess looks over, why'd you do that? Now we don't have any light.
Well, we know where the door is.
She just kind of like, okay, you go first. She sits back.
I'm gonna bid a trait. Better behind a Budo. Sir, if you wouldn't mind, Lipid.
I mean, you can bid against the player, but they can always bid back.
No, I'll just go.
Yeah. As you go forth, you can see quite well since there's all that ambient heat that just moves through here, and it's residual. You notice, Lepid, as you're maybe halfway down, all these scrapes, like something has been moved down here, pushed, and it wasn't done carefully. As then you realize, as you look in the wall, you see fingernails.
Yeah, someone was dragged down here
You're about halfway
against
down.
their will.
As the rest of you sort of trailed inside. Liz is last. The Drowden are with you guys.
Yeah, I'm just right behind the Budo. I'll go second.
You guys keep on going. You get to the door. You can smell it. There's a little bit of smoke in here from it being burned. The slats are weakened, but it still is a reinforced door. It's still there. But, you know, it could be broken down. Action's on you.
All right. I'm gonna see if it can move.
Okay. As you push or pull.
I push.
As you push, it is not locked. This one does scrape though, and you know it's been jacked up, so it kind of like on the hinges. You open it up into this vestibule room. There's a little bit of water trailing down some of the walls. Very, very slight. Moss everywhere it's not. The wall, or the entire room is obviously it's underground, stone, barreled ceiling, you know. Craftsmanship of ages. This place is ancient, and yet it's still held up even through earthquakes and such. And there's writing all over the walls in different glyphs. As Winchester, you see runes. This looks like the bathroom at Buster's. This looks like a pub bathroom where there's graffiti everywhere. And it's written in all manner of things you could imagine. Carved in, blood, other stuff. Who knows? All over the place. Almost mesmerizing, really. It is very dark in here. You can just barely see because of the embers. So this kind of has this spookiness. There's shadows of silhouettes of perhaps something in here against the walls, but it's kind of hard to tell since it's so dark.
Can I bid Firestarter to take the embers that are on the door that is now open and heat them up significantly?
You can, though the heat must come from somewhere.
I thought there were embers on the door.
There,
that were
you
still
can pump them up, but you've got to if you're going to add heat, it's got to come from somewhere.
Oh,
to add energy, you've got to add energy.
I do have a flint and metal. Can I use that spark?
It's not that you need a spark. It's that you need more energy. It's like a battery. Like if you're going to heat something up, you have to add the energy from something.
Right.
So
well, from I guess the air, I'll use the air and flame to push air against this
to feed the flames.
Feed the
so
flame.
it's gonna start.
I'll pull the
burning
air
the
from
food.
outside and
Okay.
kind of trying to funnel it. And so there's
So
going to be a shift of air coming from the outside down into this area.
Sure. So you're gonna start feeding the flame with the air, and it's gonna start burning that door, which will give it heat and light.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What do you bid and make your chaos die roll?
I bid Firestarter to activate
Yep.
air and flame.
Yep. And roll that chaos.
That is a 6.
Nice. As Lepid, what are you doing as Winchester is starting to pull forth the arcane energies?
I'm going to I'm actually going to look backwards and see if if anything has tried to close us in.
As you look back up the sort of stairway ramp, 80 feet, you see the door up there. Again, it's quite dark. You can see okay because of the infravision. No one is up there. There's an open door. You do hear the whistling of the wind starting to come this way. Don't see anyone up there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, in that case,
Now, nightfall was like half an hour ago.
yeah. I find it strange that there's so much humidity in the desert. I mean, this place must have been sealed up real tight.
As Kess kind of looks, she's looking around, or he?
And I say this out loud.
Yeah. As Kess looking around, she's looking at the walls. Well, there's got to be some sort of underground river or stream, obviously.
There are all those wet ponds that I wouldn't want to go swimming in with like old dead gods in them.
I don't think it's water.
You think that's why you think that's why this place was chosen?
Yeah, this whole place is magic. The further we go, the more magic it gets.
I mean the water.
Yeah, maybe it's like real great water. I don't know.
It's kind of strange that there'd be water as wind. Once in the room, the pressure in your ears changes, pops. As that door, you see the embers start to glow, glow, glow. Smoke starts roiling in this room.
And I do have a pretty good control. So it's not like I'm trying to like do more of a jet, like a smaller sphere.
Sure, there's still smoke.
Yeah.
You're blowing on a log and it's starting to catch.
I get it.
Smoke happens. Smoke fire. As smoke is roiling off the door, and it catches a conflagration that starts like a campfire on the door. The room is not filled with smoke, but if you keep this up, it will be.
Yeah.
The smoke's sort of hovering at the top, that 10-foot ceiling.
Maybe I use that. Bend it.
Yep.
And then shoot the smoke out the top. So it's
sure. You can either bid or throw down to do that.
I'll throw down.
Yep. You just need one success on the throwdown.
I got 2.
Awesome. As you send the smoke out, the wind dies down. It's actually not that smoky, other than, the fire that's still going, of course. Are you going to capture this somehow, or are you just going to let the door burn?
No, I want the door to burn.
Okay. The room will eventually fill with smoke, because you have a campfire in a room underground.
Yeah.
Right.
I look at everyone and I say, that's a lot of smoke. Let's go back out. Let's go back out.
No. It says no. No. We are not going in and out and in and out and in and out and doing this number. No.
Let me look at the runes. I just need to concentrate so I can see enough light and get the smoke out of the way so I can look at what's going on in here.
Because it says, then go. You can tell that she's like just done with it. Then go, mage. Look at the runes. She turns to you with it. She's like tiny compared to you. She says, we are not going in and out of this place like a bunch of children without their mothers and fathers. We have started this investigation. We're going to finish it.
I'm going to look at these runes. Can I look at...
It's whatever you want to do that.
When I stop concentrating on the wind, because I have to stop, I'm waiting until the door, catches a fair amount, just enough flame so I can see the room and see the runes.
Yeah, you don't have to stop. You just bleed traits.
Yeah, but I just wanted to get enough of a flicker so I could see.
Yep. Yeah, you have a campfire door. You can see just like that. It's not perfect. It's not like, halogen lamps, but you can see.
So you described it as they're all on the ceiling, or are they just kind of everywhere?
Everywhere, all on the walls. All the walls. The ones that have water running down, they're sort of eroded and the moss is covering. Yeah. But that far wall especially, it's clearly there's runes upon runes upon runes.
Do I get a general sense, if I bid Scroll of Runes, of the meaning of what this is?
All manner of protection. As you're looking, protections from evil spirits, from bad luck, anything you can imagine. But it's turned inward, meaning this is a seal of protection. So it's sealing this room.
Oh. Well, I think
which doesn't make sense because it's a wall.
Yeah. Something's on the other side. Something's on the other side of this wall. And all these runes are probably keeping it there, protecting us from whatever it is. So this fire that I've got on this door is probably not helping keep everything sealed forever. So maybe I should put it out.
Hold on. Let's look. What you're saying is that wall is some kind of door.
No, I think that it's like a circle of protection for us against whatever's on the other side of it.
Sounds like it's a wall. It's a door.
Yeah, it's like a wall that has something bad over there, or I mean, I don't. Magic is
so
fun.
it's sealed. It's sealed.
Yeah, it's as far as I can tell, it's sealed. It seems like it's sealed.
So we're safe.
Yeah, we're safe.
Okay. Please, Sai, put out this fire. Everyone back to the room up top. Do not cross the seals.
Agreed. I'll put out the fire.
Guys, you all start going up. How do you put out the fire?
I'm going to do. I feel like if I can make fire by adding air to it, if I try to remove air from it by making it more of a vacuum.
How are you doing it? Lots of ways to skin a cat.
I'm gonna bid my swagger, which is know-it-all, and I'm going to make it so that, and I'm gonna like the ground kind of tremors just a little bit, and I'm gonna try to squelch. I'm gonna cut the oxygen from that area.
So just around the door itself, you're
Just
trying
around
to
the door itself.
create like an air. How are you making the bubble?
How well? Basically, if I feel,
Because if you remove air, more air will go there. You're actually going to create wind.
no, I'm gonna try and make it as still, so still that like air doesn't flow. I don't know, trap. I want to kind of create a. I'm gonna take my shoe off, and I'm gonna dip it in some water, and I'm gonna pour the water because it's moist in here, isn't there? Is there water in here?
There's a little bit trickling down the the walls slowly, but yeah, there's no pools of water in here.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and grab some moss and stuff and like put wet things on it and put it out. I'm gonna Smokey the
so
Bear.
this is what's gonna happen. Everyone else goes up to the main chamber. Meanwhile, Winchester can start throwing things on the fire, hoping that they don't catch.
Wet things.
Yeah, as you like, there's all kinds of smoke billowing out of this thing. As we're gonna find out. It's gonna take you a little time. We'll get to it. Lepid, you get to the main room, where in the center of the room, where the mirror is. So back wall where the mirror is, in the center. They've started making a camp. They've thrown out the bedrolls. Liz is standing there. She's like in the center of the room looking, trying to find where Tamu might have been. As the Drowadin and Kess make a little place for you guys to hang out. They start a little fire there as Kess kind of looks at you and says, I mean, it'll be a little smoky, but we'll just do coals when we actually sleep, and we'll have a watch and the doors open. So
I say Tamu was over there.
Liz is that way, watching. After a while, there's smoke coming out of that one. Black smoke. Down below. Right, so this is a tenuous situation. You're attempting to put out a campfire with moss, and it's smoking badly, and kind of working.
If there's a little trickle of water, I'll take it. No,
yeah, it sort of works, but it's will it start back up? I mean, it's the door is hot enough. Like the wood is. I don't know. You know about campfires. I don't know why I'm trying to describe this to you.
Yeah, I do.
What
It's
you're
hard to
trying to
put
do-
a. It's hard to put.
What you're trying to do is actually hard and likely will just start up in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
It
it's-
might die down. You don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'll just keep at it for a bit.
Good. You start to smoke yourself out a little bit.
Oh God.
And this room, it's got a thick layer of smoke that's probably hovering, like from your neck up is just smoke roiling around in here as you're like coughing. And, for the most part, this door is put out, but it's just smoking, black smoke.
Yeah. Shit. Is there a way I can take my knife and like chip out the embers?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
As
try.
you're down there. Okay, as you're doing that, we'll do a brawn throwdown. So,
Okay.
throw down brawn as you are inhaling smoke.
Yeah.
Just lots of it. You reach a campfire and burn moss. What'd you get?
I rolled 2 1s. I'm gonna use a proficiency.
Oh, that actually is another failure. That would re-roll some of it.
I'm gonna re-roll one of them. I rolled another
Sound
one.
that-
I rolled.
Do what?
I rolled another one.
Oh no.
Rolled 3 ones in a row. Can I use another
God damn.
proficiency? Fuck me. Okay, that's a 7.
All right, good. As you as you kind of like start choking, you need to leave this room.
Yeah. All right.
You're inhaling. You're gonna pass out if you don't.
I'm gonna run up the stairs to where
As you burst out in a cloud of black smoke. Shut that
I'm
door.
gonna yell at Stuffy and Gamble. You guys are smart. Can you put out this fucking fire?
As Stuffy walks up, oh my God, what have you been doing? As
I can start fires. I can't put them
the door
out.
shut off the air. As they pull the door shut, it'll burn itself out. As no smoke comes out, totally sealed. As you're just like, oh, you smell like bacon.
I never said it. I fly. I hang out at the back of a ship. That's my job.
Hey,
What do you want?
I know what they did. I know what happened.
What happened?
You'd walk across the sigil, and then you'd get judged. And if they didn't like it, they'd take you down there and leave you there,
Yeah. No.
lock you away.
People look at you like,
I agree. I think that's what happened. I mean, or
You would
or
get judged by the gods.
You just get turned to
And then-
dust.
It would seal your fate in this
see
world
Wisp,
and the next.
Wisp sitting there still looking. I don't know what mysticism is going on. Do we think that? Is there some way to get around this?
You know, if we back up just a little bit, there's some wreckage outside that I was.
We can't get outside.
Well, I mean, we can get outside tomorrow. I mean, we camp here and we go outside.
Why could we go outside tomorrow? I thought we couldn't.
We
Wait, can we just walk around the city?
Just
You
walk
see
around
Liz just
this-
like, oh my God! As she stands up, Tess, come on. If they stand up, they just look at you. with like you're despicable. We're going to go find Tamu. You all stay here. Don't get in any trouble. As they walk around the sigils and go out the front door.
I told you not to walk over the sigil.
She's just cursing. They're talking in low tones, like curses, as they leave. And you guys are left there. The two Drowidan are kind of like looking as they're like roasting, some like little meat. You guys want some meat?
Yeah. Yes.
I'll take some meat.
I take it. Cool. And
as you guys are eating,
sure.
Let's see. There's
Stuffy says, I don't think you've made such an impression on Corporal. Either one of you, to be honest.
Yeah.
Conflict.
But especially you. She looks at the mage, or he looks at the mage. I mean, Tamu's one of her own.
Yeah. That wasn't my fault. I said don't walk on the sigil. Everybody's
I know that.
walk on the sigil.
Yeah.
I said it was
just kind of
magic
shakes
and dangerous.
I don't know. I hate mages. I won't lie to you. I hate mages.
Yeah, so does everybody else. It's not my fault.
Never is. As you guys kind of sit there in a little bit of silence, the two Drowidan kind of like are like playing a card game. Lepid, you're kind of just hanging out next to the fire, loving it. Mage Boy,
I'm gonna go to sleep.
You start going to sleep. Who's gonna keep watch? Stuffy says, "I'll keep watch."
I'll take the last watch. Just wake me up.
They all kind of like look at you distrustfully and like, yeah, okay. In the middle of the night, you hear the first scream from outside. And that's where we're going to end.
Oh. Of course. Well, at least they're dead. They can't hate me when they're dead. Well, this has been another episode of the Geeky Gamer podcast. We've been playing DreadLore for the last number of hours, and I thought we did pretty good. We didn't die. So that's good. Maybe some people died. But we have a Patreon. Geeky Gamer Podcast. Yeah, Patreon patronizes. We need all the help we can get, apparently, if you can afford it. If you can't, then just enjoy watching this. Or, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you like. Whatever that means. All lowercase letters, Mr. Interrupt. They brought some music. Couchfire Media did some production. Twal Replay Productions took off about 2 years ago. It's Monday night. We're playing the do you know what we're playing? The game?
I don't know if there's a formal name. I really don't.
We're playing the I think it's the Myri'i Expanse or the Myri'i Expanse. I don't know how to say it. But we'll be back at exactly 7 p.m. Sunday next week. Did you have any last thoughts? Do you want to thank the sponsor again?
Yeah, I'd like to thank the sponsor, Random Screen Resolutions, that never line up to the ones that you need. Thanks.
Bye.